Hey everyone, it's Triple Mango Threat or Ashley, and today we're talking about my favorite precon decks. Let's talk about that. So first up, let's talk about Coven counters. This is a highly underrated commander precon. I think I saw it for like $27 on TCG Player compared to the zombie deck that came out at the same time. They're wanting $45 for that. Yeah, that just blows my mind. But anyways, I love this deck because I showed up at one of my LGSs and, you know, I sleeved it up, precon, no upgrades or anything, and I almost won both of the games. I had to leave early for the second one. But that just blew my mind that a precon could show up and just school most of the decks there. Why is this so underrated and undervalued? I don't know. I'm guessing everybody wants to build that zombie deck, and they're just missing out on a great precon. So I'm here to tell you that this is a great precon, and it involves card draw with the commander. That is super helpful, especially for a new player, or even someone who just wants a different commander deck. For $27, it's hard to build a budget deck with $27, so buying a precon is a great option for you to use. Moving on, let's talk about Silverquill's statement. I adore this precon so much. I do have some upgrades for my personal deck, but even just out of the box, this is a great deck for politics. If you're looking for a different type of deck, you know, outside of spell slinging and just dealing as much combat damage as possible, I really recommend this one. There is some sort of combat damage, I guess you could call it, but it really cares about +1/+1 counters, which is different from any white or black deck. Why I really love this and it's my favorite is because the commander. We have Brina the Demagogue. It cares about us not attacking the lowest life total, and an opponent can't be attacking us as well. So in a 4-player game, players can have 2 options in order to draw a card, and then we get the counters from our commander. But this also involves us as well. We get the counters and we get to draw cards whenever we're not attacking the lowest life total. This type of deck is going to encourage players to hit each other, not us, and I think it's a great way to change up your commander games. Next up is Lorehold Legacies. This is the artifact deck from Strixhaven, and it is so much fun. If you thought Duretti was good, this commander adds a color and we get to double the amount of artifacts whenever we exile them from our graveyard. So if we exile Ichor Wellspring, we get 2 of those copies that enter the battlefield. So we'll draw 2 cards by paying 2 mana and tapping our commander, and whenever we sacrifice them later, we get to draw 2 more cards. That is insane. Or even Solemn Simulacrum. Whenever it enters the battlefield, we get a basic land to our battlefield tapped. Well, if we get 2 of them to the battlefield, we get 2 basics, and when it dies, we get to draw a card. What's neat about Osgear is that it has a built-in sack outlet on it. Sadly, we have to pay 1 mana to sacrifice an artifact, but it's actually not that bad because target creature you control gets +2/+0, and there's a lot of games where I kill people with commander damage because I just have so many artifacts, so much mana. It really is a fun deck. Okay, next up, let's talk about Merciless Rage. So the commander is Anji Falconwrath, and this really cares about cards with madness. If you're looking for a different type of Rakdos deck, this is the one for you. I wasn't really sure about this deck, but whenever I played it for the first time, I was like, wow, this is definitely different and takes advantage of cards with madness because we're drawing a huge amount of cards and we're discarding cards, which is exactly what madness wants to do. It's a very powerful deck and has some great cards in it as well. I found it actually pretty easy to upgrade this deck, and it wasn't that much money either, so I may have to do a video on that. But as long as you have madness cards in this deck, you're getting so much value. For example, one of the cards that doesn't come in it is Shadow of the Grave. We can return all cards that are in our graveyard that we either cycled or discarded this turn. So all those madness cards that we discard, we can bring them right back to our hand for 2 mana. Or, you know, we have Fiery Temper. This is a lightning bolt whenever we discard it. Or we can destroy target non-black creature with Dark Withering. Normally 6 mana. Thank goodness we're not paying that. We're only paying 1 black mana to do so. And again, there's so many cards that take advantage of madness with our commander. I highly recommend this one. The last deck we're talking about is Sneak Attack. Our commander is Anawan the Ruin Thief. This is a rogue tribal deck that cares about milling our opponents, and whenever we mill a creature, we get to draw a card. But this is only once for each opponent. Again, this is a super cheap precon and really easy to upgrade. Our commander gives our rogues +1/+1, so that's another card our opponents are going to be milling, and the deck by itself is actually really powerful. The upgrades aren't that expensive either, so this is really just a home run. Of course, why it's such a low price, maybe it's the availability. They're just everywhere. I think you can pick it up for less than $20 right now. You get a precon for less than $20, 100 cards. This is a great gift if you're trying to introduce someone to Commander, or if you just want a different Commander deck. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to comment down below your favorite precon, and thank you to the patrons who help support this show. I could not do this without you, and you can also become a patron to help support this show and see more Mango content. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.